Record. Okay, so tonight's training is all about booking and coaching. So last week we talked about income producing activities and we talked about, booking and coaching our hostesses being a income producing activity, right? And if you don't know what an income producing activity is, let me catch you up to speed really quickly. They are activities that yield income. Okay, that's all that means. They are activities that yield income, meaning they directly equal dollars. Okay, so things that we talked about were holding a facial or a party, doing your booking attempts, coaching your hostesses, doing sharing calls with your sales director and a potential team member. Those types of things are income producing activities. All right. So, we're going to talk tonight about booking and coaching. And so, before we kind of dive into this, well, actually, I'll share this for the end. Heather Payne, remind me at the end that I want to share and show my screen with you guys, okay, before we hop off. Okay. Okay. So, let's talk about how to get a booking. Okay. So, what is a booking? A booking can be a one on one facial, it could be a party, it could be a Facebook party, it could be a virtual party over Zoom or FaceTime, whatever. There's so many different types of booking, especially now, because we have ventured the virtual world and we've come out on the other side. Now we've got so many options, which is great. But let's talk about how to get a booking. Have you ever heard of the Frank list? FRANK. Anyone ever heard of Frank when it comes to this acronym? Okay. So F is friends, R relatives, A associates, N neighbors, and kids, meaning kid connections, like who do your kids know, like who are they connected to, friends, moms, things like that. Okay, so your Frank list, that's a great place to start. Also, this is something like when you're a new consultant and I say, hey, one of your first new consultant steps is to sit down and make your wedding list, your wedding guest list. This is kind of your Frank list, all right? So we talk about who would you invite to your wedding? Who would you invite to a baby shower? Who would you invite to a big life event? Those are the people that you would add to this list. Your Frank list, this just kind of helps to categorize people and help you think about, okay, who are my friends? Like, who are my friends? Who are those people that I would call on, right? And then who are my relatives? Like, who am I related to? Associates being like maybe coworkers or people that aren't necessarily friends or relatives of yours, but you are associated with them. You work together. Maybe you go to church together. Um, Maybe your kids are in sports together, whatever. Okay. So, Frank list, that is a great place to start. If you haven't made your Frank list, that would be step one for you. Is sit down and make your Frank list, okay? Good. Now, once you have exhausted or have felt like you've exhausted your Frank list, there's other places to get bookings, all right? Anyone want to share with me maybe some other places that I could find someone to book? Give me some examples. Excellent, Heather. Referrals, yes. So we can find new connections through referrals. Referrals meaning whether we get referrals at an appointment that we've booked ourselves and we ask for the referral because we have to ask for it. They're not just going to be like, we have to ask. That's another thing. Or maybe you have just a really good VIP customer and maybe she sees a friend of hers on her Facebook talk about skin issues or whatever, and she tags you. She's like, oh, at Heather Payne, she's my skincare girl. She has helped me tremendously with XYZ. That is kind of a referral in a virtual way because then she's connected you to this person. And now you have a reason in an organic way to reach out to this person, right? And it's not weird and salesy and whatever. Like it's very organic. Um, okay, I'm a part of my alumni fraternity. We have meetings I can always share. I love that. So like networking events, um, things like that. Incredible. All right. Facebook, that's another great way is through your social media, right? So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever else everybody uses, okay? Facial jars, yes, another great way to generate leads, okay? So we talked about referrals, facial jars or facial boxes. We talked about social media. Vendor events is another one. Vendor events is a great one. Warm chatting, actually warm chatting. And what that means is, let's say you're out and about, you're at the post office shipping off Mary Kate orders, and the girl behind the counter, it was very nice and sweet, and you compliment her and you thank her for helping you. And in turn, you're like, hey, as you can tell, I'm a Mary Kay consultant with all the Mary Kay boxes, right? And I would love to feature you in my spring portfolio. Would you be willing to meet with me? And she's like, oh my gosh, yes. Like, let's do that. Sounds so fun. That is an example of warm chatting. And so then you exchange contact information. Okay, that's a key thing. We can go out and just talk about Mary Kay all day, but if we're not actually exchanging our contact information in some way, whether it's a phone number, a social media account, whatever, there's really it's kind of a dead end. Okay. Another way is bookings from bookings. So let's say that I'm having a party, right? You guys are my party guests. And I'm like, okay, so our hostess tonight is going to earn X thing when two of you book your very own Mary Kay session with me. I'm so excited. It's going to be so much fun. And so, guess what? I booked two parties from that party that was happening in real time because I incentivized it and because they're having fun. So, that's a booking from a booking. All right. So, those are just some quick things off the top of my head, off the top of your head, that we're talking about other ways to find bookings. Okay. So just know that, like, if you feel like you've exhausted one avenue, like if you feel like I've reached out to everyone on my Instagram, okay, well, let's try something different. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the end all be all. All right. I've been building my business for what, 8 years now? I don't even know how many years, 8 years. And I'm like, I have not exhausted all of my connections at this point. They may not all be my best friends, right? But I know that I have not asked every single person that I am connected to in some way, shape, or form for a facial because I'm constantly meeting new people all the time, right? Constantly. So, like, there's always going to be an influx of potential leads, okay? I also will tell you that it is easiest to book a one-on-one appointment first and then coach them to bring friends, which, if you pick up what I'm putting down, that means that you just turned a one-on-one facial into a party without ever saying the word party. Okay. So that's another thing I want to share with you guys is, as you're booking, remove the term party from your vocabulary. Like, remove it from the vocabulary. The only time we ever say the word party is when we talk about your launch party. Okay. That's the only time we talk about your party. The word party is with your launch party. Outside of that, I never use the term. Never use it unless it's in a Mary Kay training like this. Okay. So book the one-on-one appointment. Then you can coach her on bringing friends with her, and then it feels just like a girl's night. Like, we're just hanging out and it's low pressure. She doesn't have to clean the house for 50 people to come over, because that's what happens is when you tell people, hey, do you want to host a Mary Kay party for me? They're thinking, oh my gosh, I have to order pizza. I have to clean my house. I have to do something with the kids. And her mind starts racing of all the to-dos that she has on top of her already busy jam-packed schedule. And she's like, I just can't do it. So just eliminate the word party from your vocabulary, and trust me, it will work a lot smoother for you if you do it that way. Okay. So I do have some sample scripts. I'm going to just go ahead and copy these into the chat for you guys. Don't stress about it. I'm going to show you a resource that has all these in there, but if you like to read this as I go, then here you go. All right. So literally, here's what a script could look like. Hey, Heather, I have a favor to ask. I need to give 30 free pampering sessions this month. Would you be willing to help me? Women love to help women, especially when there's a goal attached. I told her that I need to give 30 free pampering sessions this month. Would she be willing to help me? I mean, our helper friends are going to jump in and be like, yes, I will help you. This is awesome. Okay. So once she says yes, that she will book with you, then you're going to book a day and time. You're going to give her two options. Okay. Do not leave this open ended, my friends. Do not leave this open ended. Do not say, well, just let me know when works for you. do not do that because I don't know about you, but I love Mary Kay because I get to design my own schedule. I don't have a boss telling me I need to work X amount of hours, I need to work on these days at this time. I have the flexibility and the freedom to figure out and decide when I want to hold appointments, when I want to see faces, okay? So if I let my customers and potential clients pick my schedule for me, I just took all the power away. And truth is, they're probably not gonna get back to me, right? They're not gonna get back to me because I just gave them an open-ended thing. So they're gonna take that and run with it. So you wanna make sure you give her 2 choices. So what do I mean by that? You could say, "Does next Thursday night or Saturday morning work best for you?" And if she says Thursday night, great, then you set the start time, right? If she says, "Oh, Sabra, neither of those work for me," then guess what? You come at her with 2 other options. Okay, no big deal at all. Would Friday afternoon or Sunday afternoon work better for you? Okay, and you keep that going back and forth with 2 options. The reason we don't leave it open-ended is, 1, they're gonna run your schedule for you, and I personally don't want people to run my schedule for me. I wanna run my schedule, like, and I'm sure each of you on here, you're busy women, you're mamas, you work, you've got a lot going on. So, like, don't let people run your business for you. You run your business, okay? You're the independent beauty consultant. You get to decide when you work and how you work, okay? So my third point there is pick a time and location, and then this is where the coaching comes in with getting her to bring friends. Do you have any friends who you think would enjoy something like this or maybe deserve some extra pampering with you? I'll have a gift for you if so, because you'll be helping me reach my goal of 30. Because she already knows that you had a goal in your initial message that you have a goal to hit 30 pampering sessions this month. And now you book the day and time with her. That's step 2. Once the day and time is booked, then you ask her to bring friends. Why do you think we book the day and time before we ask her to bring friends? Anyone, maybe you've experienced this yourself, but does anyone want to take a stab at that? Why do we book the day and time first before we ask her to bring friends? I've dealt with this a lot. I've dealt with this a lot because women will say, if you don't secure a day and time, what they will say is, "Oh, well, let me ask my friends when works for them." Okay? And she's got 5 friends that she wants to invite, and those 5 friends all have different work schedules. And then you're playing ping pong back and forth, trying to sync up calendars, trying to find a day and time that works. That's why we book the day and time first. And then the ones that are able to come at that day and time, great. If they can't, guess what? We'll book them for something else that works for them. It's not a problem at all. Yes, so if you don't book the day and time first, and then you mention the friends, she's gonna push it off on the friends and be like, "Oh, well, let me ask my friends, see when they're available." Book the day and time, and then coach her to bring friends. So, like, let's say I message that to her and I'm like, "Do you have any friends?" Blah, blah, blah. If she comes back and is like, "Oh, like, maybe this person, let me ask them if they're free that day." That works a lot better, right, than going back and forth and trying to coordinate 5 different people's schedules, okay? So, book the day and time first, then coach her to bring her friends, okay? Something else that you guys can do is use a bubble sheet to track who you've asked with your booking attempts and their responses, okay? How many of you have, like, sent out booking attempts and you don't even remember who you reached out to, what day it was, what they said, it gets lost in your Facebook Messenger or it gets lost in your text? Like, I've been there. Not fun, because then you're like, "I swear I did booking attempts, but, like, I don't have the evidence of it." I'm like, "I have no evidence, like, where is it?" So, using a bubble sheet, and I'll show you guys what a bubble sheet looks like, this allows you to track who you've messaged and what they said, okay? And with booking, just know that 1 out of every 10 people that you attempt to book will actually book, all right? So, if I know that my goal is to book 5 appointments in the next week, how many booking attempts do I need to do? If I know 1 out of every 10 books and I want to book 5 appointments, how many booking attempts do I need to do? Yes, correct, 50. 50 booking attempts, okay? So it's all in the numbers. So I will tell you that if you're getting a higher booking rate, if you're tracking on your bubble sheet, you're going to know what your booking rate is. So if you're getting 2 out of 10 to book, you're killing it. You're getting better odds. It's awesome. So, but the only way to know that number is to track it, okay? And also I want you guys to know that about 50% of your appointments will actually hold without rescheduling. And if you've been tracking this and tracking your appointments, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The numbers line up, okay? And that's not to discourage you or whatever. It's just, I'm like, listen, it's in the numbers. So if we know that, we know what we need to work around, right? So if my goal was to have 5 appointments in the next week, I need to do 50 booking attempts. But then I also know, okay, of those 5, 2 of them might cancel on me or reschedule. Okay. So just some numbers to be aware of and to know about. Okay. And I'll show you guys the bubble sheet at the end of this. I'm just going to roll on with my last portion of the training. Okay. So this is coaching your booking and pre-profiling. So you've booked the appointment, set the date, set the time. She's bringing friends. Yay. This is awesome. We just turned it into from a one-on-one appointment to a party. So now you want to be prepared for the appointment, right? So you want to be prepared and have an idea of the people that are coming. So here's some questions that I like to ask a day or 2 before the party. All right. And the reason this is important is for a couple things. One, it's gathering intel for you. It's gathering information about each guest's skin, each guest experience with Mary Kay. And secondly, it's also giving you a confirmation on who is attending this party. All right. So here's the questions. It's 4 simple questions. I'll put these in the chat in a minute, but I want to tell you what they are. Number 1, what kind of skin do you have? Oily, dry, both, or neither? I ask them this. That way I can figure out what their skin type is. And I text or call. Okay. You can send them a text or you can call them up on the phone and just be like, hey, this is Sabra with Mary Kay. I am so excited to see you at Heather's tomorrow night. I just have a couple quick questions for you to prepare. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Question 2 is if you could wave a magic wand over your skin and change anything, what would it be? 3 is what is one makeup item you can't live without? And lastly, have you ever tried Mary Kay before? If so, when and with who? I'm putting these in the chat. Okay. All right. So those are the questions that I would text or call each individual guest. Like, don't put them in a group chat. Do not do that. Don't put them in a group chat. You're going to message them individually or you're going to call them up on the phone. Whatever floats your boat. Okay. Whatever works. All right. So I am going to share my screen. But before I do, what questions do you guys have as it relates to booking, coaching, pre-profiling, etc.? Okay. Well, while you guys are thinking, I'm going to share my screen. And this is our team board. Okay. So if you're not in our board, this is what it looks like. You can get added to it. And there's all kinds of resources and stuff here. What I want to direct your attention to is the folder that's titled In-Person Appointment Necessities. And then this is what we call our party playbook. Okay. So in this party playbook is pretty much a lot of the training things that we talked about tonight. Finding your averages. Here's your Power Start tracking sheet. Getting a booking. Here's your bubble sheet. This is the bubble sheet I was talking about. So basically, as you make your booking attempts, you color in the circle accordingly. Okay. So you would put, let's say that I reached out to Heather to book her. I'd put Heather here. And then based on, did she answer? Did she book an appointment with me? Did I have to leave a voicemail? Like, what did I have to do with Heather? I would indicate that here on this circle. Okay. So this allows you to see, okay, how many booking attempts have I done? How many bookings are confirmed? Who do I need to follow up with? All right. So that's what a booking sheet is. You can print those off. You can download them to your iPads, whatever works for you. But I would highly recommend doing this and tracking this, especially as you are starting your business or maybe restarting and trying to figure out what your averages are, because a track number grows and it's really hard to understand where you're at and where you want to go if you don't have the data to work off of. Okay. And this is talking about coaching your appointment. These are the questions I ask. And then there's all kinds of resources in here: how to set up your travel roll-up bag, how to set up for the facial itself. These are tray inserts that you can literally print off and cut and put into your trays. How to set up. Here's a script. Whenever you're diving into the products, here's what you can say about them. Like, this is a resource for you all. And so I just wanted to show you where some of these things were. So there's where you can access your bubble booking sheet. Okay. All right. Any questions? We've got a couple minutes left together. So what questions do you guys have about booking, about coaching your hostesses, anything? This is for you. This training is for you guys. I want you to feel good about it. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, do you have some rebuttal responses? Like, what do you mean rebuttal responses? Like objections, as in, she's saying, oh, like, I don't know who, well, I'm trying to think, because in the initial message I send, I'm like, would you be willing to help me? And it's a yes or no response. Like, that's pretty straightforward. But if she comes back and she's like, oh, I don't wear makeup, let's say. Oh, I don't wear makeup. Say, perfect. We have skincare products. I would love to get your feedback on that. Okay. That's an easy one. Or if she's like, I would love to help you, but I don't have the time. Be like, I totally understand that time is a priority and it's very valuable. And I would love to do a on the go appointment with you where I could literally come in 30 minutes or less and walk you through some of my favorite products. Like, you can tweak that and adjust it to different people. And that's going to be a training that we have in the future too, is overcoming objections. But the more practice that you have with doing booking attempts and practicing overcoming objections, the better you get at it. Like, yeah, so time. You guys, these Mary Kay appointments, they're not hours long. They're like, if you've done one of these, they're like a group setting I can do in an hour or less. So I'm like, a one-on-one appointment I could do in 30 minutes or less. It just depends on how chatty she is. You know what I mean? Like, it depends on how much she wants to talk to me. And that happens a lot. Like, sometimes I've had people that want to do a quick appointment and they get in front of me and then they just want to do this the whole time. And I'm like, it's your time, boo. I'm here, like, I'm here. So, but it's going to be one of those things that the more that you are presented those things, you can overcome them. And that's where I can step in and help you. Is like, let's say that you're booking and someone has an objection, screenshot that message and send it to me so I can coach you on it. That's what I help you do. But I have less than a minute till this expires. So my challenge for each of you on here, which I need to make sure I remember who all's on so I can add your squares. Get a booking within the next 24 hours. Get a booking within the next 24 hours. Okay? Get a booking in the next 24 hours. So everyone acknowledge that in the chat. Give me a something. Thumbs up, something. Y'all are quiet. Okay, got it. Will do. Amazing. Okay. Okay. Get a booking in the next 24 hours. You can do it. I'm going to be checking in with you. Sent you. Okay.